All right, today we're going to tackle an absolute classic coding problem, the two-number sum. Now, it might look simple at first glance, but trust me, figuring out how to solve it efficiently, well, that's where some really powerful programming strategies come into play. So let's just jump right in with a quick example.
Okay, so here's the challenge for you. Take a look at this list of numbers. Your target is 10. Can you find two numbers in there that add up to exactly 10? Go ahead, take a quick look. See if you can spot them. We're going to come back to this exact list in a bit, but first, we got to lay down the official rules of the game.
Right. Every coding challenge has its ground rules, and this one's no exception. Let's break down precisely what's being asked of us here.
So here's the setup. The input is always going to be two things: a non-empty array of unique integers and some target sum we're aiming for. The goal? Super simple. Find two different numbers in that array that perfectly add up to the target. If you find them, you pop them into an array and return it. But what if you go through the whole list and nothing? No pair adds up. In that case, you just return an empty array. Easy enough?
Okay, so what's the first solution that probably pops into your head? For most of us, it's what we call the brute force approach. And look, it works. It'll get you the answer. But it's a classic trap, especially in technical interviews, because there is a much smarter, much more elegant way to do this. Let's talk about why this first idea is a trap.
So the brute force logic is pretty straightforward, but man, is it exhaustive. You basically just pick the first number, then you add it to the second number. Does that equal the target? Nope. Okay. Add it to the third number? No. How about the fourth? You just keep going through every single other number. And once you're done with that first number, you move on to the second number in the list and repeat the entire process all over again. You are literally checking every single possible pair. And in the world of code, this has a name. It's called O of n squared time complexity, or big O of n squared. All that really means is that as your list gets bigger, the time it takes to solve the problem gets bigger, exponentially. I mean, for a tiny list like ours, who cares, right? It's fine. But imagine a list with 1 million numbers. Your program would slow to an absolute crawl. It's just not practical. And that, right there, is why we need a better way.
And that better way? Well, it has a name. It's the hash set. This is the elegant solution, folks. This is our secret weapon that's going to take us from that slow, painful crawl to being lightning fast. It's the perfect example of thinking smarter, not harder.
So what's the magic trick here? It's all based on one simple idea, the complement. It's a fancy word for a simple concept. For any number we're looking at, the complement is just the other number we need to find to hit our target. Think about it. If our target is 10 and we're currently looking at the number 3, what's the number we're searching for? It's 7, right? That's the complement. Target sum minus current number. Super simple.
And this is why it's a total game changer. The slow way is to find our complement, that 7, by searching through the whole original array again, one by one. But the fast way? That's using a hash set. Think of a hash set like a perfect memory of every number we've already seen. Asking it, hey, have you seen the number 7, is practically instant. It's like the difference between wandering up and down a huge library aisle looking for a book versus just walking up to the librarian and asking for it. They know instantly. That's the power of an O of 1 or constant time lookup. It's night and day.
Okay, enough theory. Theory is great, but let's see this thing in action. We're going to go back to our original example and walk through it step by step using this much smarter hash set strategy.
Okay, let's trace this. We start with a completely empty scene memory. That's our hash set. First number in our list is 3. To get to 10, we need a 7. Is 7 in our memory? Nope, it's empty. So we just add 3 to our memory and move on. Next up is 5. We need another 5. Is 5 in our memory? Nope. So we add 5 to the memory. You see the pattern? For minus 4, we need 14. Not there. Add minus 4. For 8, we need 2. Not there. Add 8. For 11, we need negative 1. Not there. Add 11. Okay, now here's the magic moment. The next number is minus 1. What's the complement we need? We need 11. So we ask our memory, hey, have you seen the number 11 before? And this time, yes, we have. We put it in there on the last step.
Bingo! We found it. The second we find a complement that's already in our memory, we know we have our pair. So we return -1, 11. And we're done. The algorithm just stops right there. We don't even have to look at the rest of the list. It's just so much more efficient.
So that's the solution. But look, the real lesson here isn't just how to solve this one specific problem. It's about taking that solution and turning it into a strategy you can use again and again. So let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture.
This table really lays it all out. It's the classic trade-off you always see in coding: time versus space, or memory. Your brute force method? Super slow.
O of n, but it barely uses any extra memory. There's another pretty good method that involves sorting, which is faster, O of n log n. But the hash set method we just learned, that's the fastest of them all, a straight O of n. But there's a catch, right? The price you pay for that incredible speed is that you have to use a little more memory to keep track of all the numbers you've seen. And a huge part of being a good developer is knowing how to balance these two things.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway. What we've really uncovered here is a powerful, reusable tool called the complement pattern. Seriously, burn this into your brain. The next time you see any problem that's asking you to find numbers that sum up to a target, this should be the first thing you think of. It's this beautiful little trick of turning an addition problem into a subtraction problem, which then lets you use the superpower of a hash set for a near-instant lookup.
You know, this complement pattern isn't just for this one problem. It's the key that unlocks solutions to a whole family of problems, like three-number sum, or even subarray sum. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you've got this powerful pattern in your coding toolbox, what other puzzles are you going to solve with it?